Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor at 11truther.org. Today is January 8th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a neo-Iranian revolution in Iran in the next few days, namely by the date of Monday, January 12th of 2026. In short, if you haven't been paying attention, the Mossad has infiltrated Iran. This was seen during the June 13th, 2024 attack on Iran and their nuclear scientists and their nuclear sites, where Mossad infiltrated successfully Iran and then executed a number of attacks from inside Iran. And right now, there's likely thousands of Mossad agents inside Iran that are destabilizing the country. And they have knocked out the internet in Iran as of January 8th of 2026. Resulting in a nationwide blackout. And they have staged protests starting back on January 28th of 2025. December 28th of 2025, they began staging protests across Iran, and as of January 8th, 2026, these are now in 200 cities. So you have Iran's Mossad. The Mossad is in Iran, destabilizing the country because they're about ready to stage the Iranian Revolution of 2026, which is why I'm making this video. And this is going to happen. This is going to climax. It's going to come to fruition by the date of Monday, January 12th of 2026. According to the latest reports, 45 Iranians have been killed. This is likely times 10x. It's probably over 500 people dead or 5,000. But the numbers are limited to Iranian state media and the CIA, which is behind the Mossad. So we're not getting the real numbers. And in order to foreshadow this, U.S. President Donald J. Trump just stated a few days ago that if Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, attacks his citizenry in the protests, that the United States is quote-unquote locked and loaded, and that we're going to attack Iran. So what's going to happen is that the CIA is basically executing a real-time version of Operation Ajax. This was the CIA-backed coup against Mossadegh, the leader of Iran, back on August 15th through 19th of 1953. And this is happening right now. So we're in the middle of a coup. This is being orchestrated on the ground by the Israeli Mossad and by the CIA in Switzerland. And what's the goal of this is a nuclear event. You can mark it down. I'm going to state it on January 8th of 2026. The end game of this coup d'etat, this ongoing coup in Iran, is a nuclear event. It's likely that in the next few hours, possibly days, that Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, will flee to Russia. Also, Iranian President Mahmoud Pezeshkian will likely flee to Russia. That's why he has a Russian name. That is why Bashar al-Assad from Syria also fled to Russia. And so they're going to make it appear that the Iranian leadership left, and then they can basically take and implement a new dictatorship in Iran, likely by Muslim extremist hardline Iranian mullahs that are basically going to take the world to a very dark place, namely World War III. So what is to be expected by the date of January 12th, Monday, is obviously not known, but seizure of Iran's nuclear program is expected. So the attack by Donald J. Trump on June 22nd of 2024 and Israel, this joint operation to target Iran's nuclear sites, is designed to provide a timely motive for a revenge attack against the West, namely Israel, the United States, and/or Europe. Also, it's highly likely that after hardline Muslim extremists, anti-Semitic Muslim extremists, Iranian mullahs seize power in Iran, they will immediately attack, bomb, or invade Israel or neighboring nations, which I'm going to get into in a second. But what is also expected is that the CIA stages 9/11 style kamikaze nuclear suicide bombing attacks targeting multiple locations in the Middle East, Europe, or the United States that is subsequently blamed on Iran. In the event that Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, or Masoud Pezeshkian, the Iranian president, flee to Russia, they'll likely claim that Russia and Iran orchestrated this attack. Also, what is expected by the date of January 12th, I should say January 13th, I'm going to get into reasons why in a second, is that the CIA, once Khamenei or Masoud Pezeshkian are removed from power in this impending coup by the Israeli Mossad, they're going to stage some sort of Iranian military offensive in the Middle East, specifically to trigger World War III, likely attacking, bombing, or invading one or more countries surrounding Iran, including but not limited to Turkey, Iraq, Oman, the United Arab Emirates, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, Pakistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Cyprus, Qatar, Bahrain, and or Yemen. And the reason why I say January 13th is because this impending Iranian revolution is going to happen likely during the live broadcast of an American football game, namely the NFL playoffs or the NCAA college football playoffs. The reason why is because American blood and treasure is going to be used to invade and attack Iran. So this has to happen with Americans watching, because this has to be the reason why we have to go save Israel or save Europe or save the Middle East, is because we have to take out Iran. So this impending event, this nuclear event, this coup d'etat, this ongoing coup d'etat, which I'm calling the Iranian Revolution of 2026, will likely happen in the next few days. Most likely on the evening of January 8th in the United States, which would be January 9th in Iran. So on the evening of January 8th is University of Miami versus Ole Miss in the college football playoff semifinal in Glendale, Arizona. That is tonight. That would be January 9th in the Middle East. Or January 9th in the United States, we have Oregon versus Indiana in the college football playoff semifinal from Atlanta, Georgia, and this would be January 10th in Iran. Also, there's also what's called the wild card NFL football playoff games, and these are this weekend. And so we have on January 10th, we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Carolina Panthers. On January 10th, that's January 11th in Iran. We also have the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears, January 10th in the United States, January 11th in Iran. And then on Sunday, January 11th, we have the Bills at the Jags, the 49ers at the Eagles, and the Chargers at the Patriots. And that's January 12th in Iran, January 11th in the United States. And then, last but not least, we have on Monday, January 12th in the United States, we have the Houston Texans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is January 13th. So this is going to transpire by January 13th, which is coincidentally would be 16 days since the coup was started back on December 28th. Obviously, 2/8 is 16. So this impending coup in Iran is going to climax. It's going to come to fruition by the morning of January 13th, which is coincidentally, let me do the math here, which is coincidentally the date, the monthly anniversary of the January 13th attack, June 13th attack of 2024. So let me just run the numbers here. So that would mark exactly 19 months. So obviously the number 19. So this war, this U.S.-Iran-Israel war started on June 13th of 2024 when Iran and Israel when Israel attacked Iran, basically knocking out nuclear scientists and attacking their nuclear program. And so the date of January 13th would mark exactly 19 months since the inception of this war, this Israeli-Iran war, which the U.S. got involved in a few days later on the 22nd of June by bombing their nuclear sites. So this is exactly 19 months. We know that they do stuff on anniversaries, and obviously 19 equates to the letter S, which is an acronym for Switzerland. And so this is expected, this Iranian revolution is expected to conclude or to commence or to come to fruition by that date. Because these NFL games have upwards of hundreds of millions, if not a billion viewers globally. And so the CI plans to use these NCAA playoff games and these NFL playoff games to basically to stage events in the Middle East or elsewhere as pretext for World War III. So just to recap, the ongoing coup d'etat that's going on in Iran right now, we have 45 dead, we have riots targeting 200 cities, we have Mossad has infiltrated Iran on likely every level, likely political, likely media, likely intelligence, and they are basically destabilizing Iran so that this impending coup could happen. And like I said, this could be a third party, an Iranian extremist party. This could be a terrorist coup. This could be Al Qaeda. This could be Iran or Pakistan. But some third party, basically, to boil it down, to simplify it, it's like you have the Iranian government, then you have a second party, the Israeli Mossad, is going to knock that party out of power, and then a third party that's working with the Mossad is going to come in and take power and then seize Iran's nuclear weapons and seize their military, and then they're going to turn that military or the nuclear weapons program against Israel, against the United States, against Europe, and then that's going to start World War III. And this event is likely going to happen, like I said, during the live broadcast of an NCAA or NFL playoff game between the date of January 8th, the evening of January 8th in the United States, or January 13th, the morning of in Iran. So we have the next 5 days. Shit's going to hit the fan in respect to Iran. Now, people would say, possibly, like, why would they do this? That sounds crazy, but they did it before. They did it in 1953, August 15th through the 19th. This was a 4-day coup where the CIA went in and removed a duly elected head of state of Iran, Mossadegh, and then replaced him with Ali Khamenei, the current supreme leader of Iran. And so this precedent has been set, and we know that Israel is just foaming at the mouth to basically trigger World War III. And so there's also the possibility, I should mention on the record, on camera, is that there's also the possibility that things will deteriorate so bad in Iran. So we could imagine a future scenario that by the 10th or the 11th of January, there's riots in 400 cities and there's 5,000 dead. And then United States or Israel would be forced to intervene because they don't want a third party or Muslim extremists to seize Iran's nuclear weapons or their military. So either way you square it, they're going to basically create the pretext for war with Iran by the date of January 13th, the 19-month anniversary of when this Iran-Israel war started. And it's going to likely result in the Israeli and or United States Armed Forces base attack or invasion or bombing of Iran. And then shit's going to hit the fan. As soon as that happens, the CIA is going to set off nukes all across the world and then blame Iran. So that's what's going to be going down. And this is basically, the CIA is going to make basically a movie, a made-for-TV event that is likely going to conclude on the 19-month anniversary by the date of January 13th, likely with nuclear events in Iran, in Israel, in the greater Middle East, possibly targeting United States Armed Forces bases, military bases in the Middle East, cities in Europe such as Paris, London, or the United States, such as Washington, D.C., New York, etc. So obviously, all eyes on Iran. CIA is getting ready to make a major move there, and there's already been rumors that have been published that Ali Khamenei is going to escape to Russia, and this is basically designed to foreshadow that there's going to be a power vacuum in Iran, which is going to bring in a third party. And this, like I said, this could be an Islamic terror group. It could be hardline, anti-Semitic, Muslim extremist Iranian mullahs, but some third party, possibly a CIA puppet, is going to seize power of Iran and turn this nuclear power into a weapon against humanity, attacking Israel, attacking Europe, attacking the United States. Obviously, that cannot be allowed to happen. So, in the event that the CIA stages any sort of major event in Iran, we know that the Mossad is in there. They've admitted that they're in there, destabilizing it. And so this is what Israel wants. This is what Netanyahu wants. They want World War III. They want a nuclear event. They want to expand Israel's border, what they call the Greater Israel, and they need Iran to fall, and they desperately need the United States to get into a forever war with Iran in order to basically knock out two of their enemies at the same time. By us fighting Iran, Iran is the strongest power in the Middle East. They decimate Iran, we decimate Iran, and by going to war with Iran, the United States becomes weak and allows the predatory state, the parasitic state of Israel to deepen its claws into our backs and basically take us over. So obviously that cannot be allowed to happen. So if the CIA stages any sort of an event, and I should also state for the record that in the event that the CIA does stage terror attacks in Iran, because they've already staged ISIS attacks in Iran, or if they stage Iranian terror attacks in the Middle East or Israel, what's imperative to know is that they're going to be CBRN in nature. That's chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear in nature, because that's going to take it up to the next level and obviously triggering World War III. So in the event that the CIA stages any sort of Iranian offensive, any sort of government collapse, any sort of coup d'etat, any sort of overthrow of the government, any seizure of Iran's nuclear weapons, or any Iranian military offensive targeting Israel, the United States Armed Forces bases in the Middle East, or any of the aforementioned countries surrounding Iran, by the date of January 13th, the 19-month anniversary, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets.